Hello and welcome to today's full moon at 6 degrees of Aries message. This moon is a supermoon that is going to be full on the 29th and 30th of September. This is also the closing chapter, if you will, or the closing energy of the new moon in Aries that we had back in April of this year, 2023. So this full moon is really about asking us or asking yourself to focus on yourself, on your purpose, and to focus on your soul's journey. It is a full moon that is really asking us to slow down, and it's encouraging us to pause and just reflect and release what we no longer want to carry further beyond into October and into the rest of the year. This full moon is also asking us to reflect. And as we reflect, the reflection reveals where you may be blocking your intentions from manifesting, the work that you must do within yourself to unblock situations in your life. And it's also helping to illuminate your shadows. So there's a lot of revelation energy with this full moon in Aries on at the end of this September month. So Aries represents the singular spirit, very much about the self, while Libra is symbolizing partnership. So the full moon is helping you to release old energies and embrace the new vibrations that you now want to carry forward. They're helping you to also recognize your strengths, your power, and your light. So this Aries full moon is illuminating that for us. And courageous and motivated Aries is also the warrior of the zodiac. So because it is the first sign in the zodiac wheel, it's encouraging you to take action. It's very action oriented. It's also a fire sign, right? So very fiery energy. It's asking you to fight for what you believe in and to overcome any obstacles that are in the way of your dreams at this time. So think here about like your negative beliefs, any negative habits that you have. Think about fear and how fear may be an obstacle that is in the way of you really experiencing your dreams and living them. And think about not feeling good enough, because Aries wants to sort of squash all of those energies and wants you to really come back into your power and come back into yourself. So ask yourself this season, what are you willing to fight for in your life? Like, what battle is worth your energy? And also think about the battles that are not worth your energy, battles that you no longer want to put any energy into, because Aries is asking you to pull your power back, pull your energy back from those battles, and to really start looking at what is really truly worth fighting for, and to reinvest that energy into those things. Now, this full moon is also a time to look at how you may be battling with yourself, right? Because Aries being that warrior energy, where are you fighting with yourself, or how are you fighting with yourself? Are you fighting your soul's calling, for example? Are you ignoring it? Notice if you're instilling any doubts in yourself that are blocking you from pursuing your life's mission, because having the awareness of that is really going to help you to move forward. Remember that full moons are always completions of a cycle and also representing a new beginning to a cycle. So because Aries is ruled by fire and ruled by the planet Mars, it reminds you that you're here on a mission, okay, in this lifetime. Your soul wants to accomplish something this lifetime. You have a purpose, and it'll keep calling you until you pay attention to it. Like, these things don't go away. Your soul's calling doesn't go away. It will keep nudging you. It will keep lingering within your subconscious mind until you truly step into that mission, until you truly pay attention to it and start taking action in that direction. So, and I mean, think of it this way. So for some, it may take years to find their purpose, okay, for some people. And maybe even longer to actually follow it. Because knowing your mission in life is usually kind of a daunting task. It's kind of something that could be difficult to fully go into and actually do, right? It's not easy to really truly follow your calling, right? So this full moon can help you feel into your mission if you allow it. Because feeling into the mission is actually really, really important to connect with it on an energetic, emotional, mental, spiritual level. So, pursuing your purpose in life usually means that you have to say goodbye to certain people, you have to say goodbye to certain habits or anything that is in the way of this pursuit, right? So, this is a time to shed those or to at least acknowledge those things that are in the way, or people or habits or whatever that is in the way from you really fully stepping into your mission. Now, when you don't follow your soul's purpose, you end up frustrated with life and usually angry at yourself, right? Because you just know that there's something that you're not doing that you could be doing. And you also will have a potential to project that frustration onto the people around you. And you may want to take it out on other people, right? So, this is also a good time to become aware of that. Do I project? Am I projecting any of my frustrations onto my family, perhaps, or friends, or whoever around me, because I feel so frustrated that I'm not really following what my soul is like screaming at me to follow? So, I'm going to encourage you this full moon to allow yourself just to feel any anger that you may have and really try to like pinpoint the root or the origin of it. Okay, so try to find what you're truly frustrated about and why. So, are you frustrated, for example, that you're not living the life of your soul? Have you made compromises on things that needed to be fought for instead? Did you put off your own goals and your own pursuits and your own intuition's guidance to perhaps listen to somebody else or to do what somebody else wanted of you? Notice if you have waged war on yourself, okay? It's really an opportune time to tune into that and see how you are going against yourself. Now, Aries also helps you tune in to your internal fire and transform your anger into motivation. So use this time to actually take that anger to motivate you and really push you in the right direction to take action for those things that you know that you need to be fighting for. Use your fire also to take action in creating the life that you really want to live. Okay, stop ignoring the calling of your soul and instead listen and follow it, because I promise you it will lead you to exactly where you want to be. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be easy or it's something that is just going to come supernaturally. Sometimes we really have to fight hard within ourselves to go for that thing that we truly desire, but we're actually afraid of, right? So kind of be okay with that. Also, create a life for yourself and maybe take some time during this full moon to think about how you could create a life that makes you feel content on all levels, okay, and leaves no room for anger over what could have been, right? Because time is something that we can never get back. Right? So it's really important right now to focus on the things that we can change and focus on taking those right steps so that you don't end up, feeling angry or frustrated over something that you just never had the courage to go for. And then you're going to sit there, and ask yourself, what could have been or what could I have done differently so that I'm not in the outcome where I'm currently sitting, right? And there's so many different areas in our lives that need these questions that we really need to ask ourselves in order to move forward. So the full moon is also helping you to reignite your passion because it's in the sign of Aries. This is really reigniting our passion as well, especially if you have lost it. So once you find your purpose and really start pursuing it, it can become challenging to like stay motivated, right? Or to keep going with it, especially if there's challenges that pop up as you start to pursue it. So you may be feeling stagnant in your growth at this time, and check in with yourself if you are, and just know that it's okay. There's something in the way that you need to become aware of that you can move and sweep out of the way with this full moon so that you can continue to grow and so that you're not feeling stagnant. And asking yourself, some really honest questions like, does my purpose make me feel trapped? Like, how can I shift the way that I feel about it? So, a lot of times when we really decide to go for our purpose and really start living it, because there's so many challenges that come up with that, we will often feel trapped, right? And it's like, well, I wanted this so badly, and here I am, and now I'm doing it. And then now perhaps I feel really trapped by it. But you can ask yourself, or maybe start to perceive in a new way your entire purpose. And if you start to look at it from a sense of like, this is my life's mission, and it's an opportunity for me to evolve and to accomplish something that's like that my soul has been actually really trying to fulfill for perhaps many lifetimes, it will help you to fall in love again with your mission and help you recognize that it's the reason why you're here in this lifetime. So don't allow challenges at this time to get in the way of what you really truly are longing to fulfill within your soul. And just know and just accept that challenges are going to always pop up, but it's actually just sort of a test to see how committed you are to keep going. And challenges are always there actually to help us grow and to evolve into stronger individuals and stronger character within ourselves. It builds character, right? So just keep moving forward and see your life's mission as an opportunity to grow and to really accomplish something awesome that you're going to be super proud of later. So only you can pursue your life's journey, and keep that in mind. Like, no one else can do this for you. This voyage was destined for you, and it was destined by you. Like, you signed up for this. Your soul signed up for this mission before you even came to planet Earth. So just remind yourself that, you need to be grateful for your path and how you found it, and be grateful for the people who have helped and supported you along the way. And perhaps if no one helped and supported you along the way, then just be grateful for yourself for having the strength and the courage to go for something that, others perhaps did not support you in. That's a huge accomplishment. And I know that from personal experience that, when I initially started this channel, people weren't exactly supportive of it. And I don't think people around me really believed that I could do it or that I could grow this channel. But yet here I am, almost 1,000 subscribers in. And, I chose to keep going. I chose to push myself to persevere despite what other people thought. So I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. And it doesn't matter if people don't support you, as long as you support you. Now, let's talk a little bit about Libra, because we are in the season of Libra. We are in the month of Libra. So Libra is home to the 7th house of relationships, okay? And it's ruled by Venus. So Libra is all about relationships, actually, and bringing harmony and balance into relationships. So the moon in Aries and the sun in Libra right now is teaching you valuable lessons about staying aligned with your soul's journey while sharing the experience of living it with another person. So it's about you still doing you, right? Because Aries is very much about the self, while sharing your journey with someone or with other people, like with your family. And that's really important. And it's just really learning that dance and learning that balance of how to do that in a healthy way. Because Aries is also reminding you, this full moon, that you feel most content, that we all actually feel most content when we have a purpose in life. And Libra is encouraging you to feel at peace no matter what the situation in your life is. So keep going on that mission, but allow people to be there for you, allow people to be around you, and just know that you're going to have the strength now to be able to really keep moving forward. So Libra also reminds us that we have a better chance of forming healthy relationships and partnerships when you actually have a purpose. And I think it's extremely important for every single person to have their own purpose that is very unique and individual to them, and to feel fulfilled, on your own. Can you create that for yourself? Can you have a sense of fulfillment on your own with your doing your own thing while simultaneously sharing your life with another? Because you got to keep in mind that you are already whole and the people in your life do not complete you, right? But they just instead make your life that much sweeter, right? They bring their own level of spice and quirkiness and personalities, and that just adds to your life. It doesn't complete your life though. So the real relationship here that this full moon is asking us to look at is the one with ourselves. That's the key focal point here with this Aries full moon is, can you look at the relationship that you have with yourself and how you feel about that, and what kind of a relationship you actually have with yourself? Because the Aries full moon is also giving you the energy to conquer some of your toughest demons, right? While Libra is helping you right the wrongs that you have done to you, to yourself, or perhaps wrongs that you have done to other people. So there's really, again, a huge opportunity here to bring things back into balance, to bring things back into alignment, and to really conquer your own toughest demons, which usually are our fears, our feelings of like not being good enough and not being worthy. Those are all demons that we have to fight within ourselves and conquer. So Aries, keep in mind, always fights with fire and force, right? While Libra uses like air, because Libra is an air sign. So Libra is more about using words and balanced communication. So Aries is a more like direct, often unstoppable type of energy, where Libra tends to see all sides like equally. Libra likes to really look at the bigger picture, which can be very beneficial, of course, but it can be a little bit less effective when it comes to creating change quickly. Aries is all about the now. Let's take action now. Let's do this now. Where Libra is like, well, let's look at all sides of the situation first and this and that, and then we'll sort of delay taking action. So the higher octave of Aries is courage, determination, stamina, and drive, which helps obviously us make decisions quickly and confidently. It also helps to dissolve obstacles with determination and just sheer willpower. Aries just wants to go get it done, do it, and uses, courage, determination, stamina, and drive to get things done. So we need this energy. We all need this energy when we're faced with adversities, particularly when we're starting something new or when we're choosing to focus on ourselves, right? Because it does take courage to look at yourself, and it takes a certain amount of determination and stamina and drive to begin something new and to really start something that feels potentially very scary. So Aries is going to remind you that when you place yourself and your mission first, then everyone benefits. Everyone in your life, even the people that you think aren't going to benefit from that, believe me, they will. It's very important because we're all role models for each other, right? We are all examples for each other. So it also gives you the energy needed to choose your soul's journey, even if it's not an easy one. And that's very important because we all need that fiery juice. Like we really, really need that push, right? And this Aries full moon is giving us this push to really follow your soul's journey and do it, even if you know that it's going to be challenging and that it's going to be difficult. So Aries in its shadow, however, can also become negatively selfish. can really, stand your ground, like even when it's not worth the battle. Aries tends to want to start battles just for the sake of proving a point sometimes. So Aries can also, in its shadow aspect, bring a lot of sort of negative fieriness and a little bit of like warlike energy, because Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Mars can also represent war. So it can be like an instigative type of energy as well. So during this full moon in Aries, it's really important to ask yourself where you may have crossed the line of selfishness. Like, are you being selfish when it comes to certain areas of your life? Or perhaps maybe you're not selfish enough. Where do you need to be more selfish for the sake of your soul, and for you to really take control and power back into your life? Where do you need to be less selfish for the sake of your partnerships, perhaps? So, that's something really important to ask yourself as well. Am I being really selfish when it comes to my partnerships? Am I always just looking at what I'm comfortable with or what I'm good with, and not really willing to make any sacrifices or just compromises, even, right, to benefit the other person as well, or to benefit your partnership? So decide now what you are willing to fight for, okay? What you're willing to stand your ground on, and what you're willing to negotiate over uh, for another person's happiness. Where do some adjustments need to be made in your life at this time? Helping others be happy in turn makes you happy in your heart, and it can be more important than proving a point, right? Happiness is so incredibly important to nurture, especially in the craziness that we live in. And this is a really great opportunity to look at that, to evaluate that, and see how you can help make others happier. Now, let's talk a little bit about the shadow side of Libra. So, the shadow aspect of Libra is really this sort of passive aggressiveness and indecision. It's Libra is very much this vacillation between choices and often becoming frustrated. So Libra will go back and forth, wants to look at all angles, every potential angle, and then will end up procrastinating a whole bunch over it, or becoming super frustrated because it can't actually make a decision on what the best step would be, or what the best thing to do would be. Okay, so that's a very shadowy side of Libra there. So this is when you can't decide on a path. You question your instinctual knowledge. You're questioning your intuition constantly. You're not trusting it. And you lose trust in yourself. You end up running around in circles, and you really never end up finding your way. So kind of tune in right now and ask yourself, am I embodying some aspects, some shadow aspects of Libra right now? Am I feeling like I'm running around in circles? And, am I constantly questioning my own skills, my own knowledge, my own intuition? Being indecisive is really just another way that you battle with yourself, right? So this war can spill onto others as well. And that's something very important to keep in mind. When you are not at peace, when you are at war with yourself, then you have a tendency to also energetically kind of pour that onto other people. So being mindful of that is very, very important. And because it also causes you to lean on others more instead of like your own inner strength to help you on your journey. So we oftentimes will become very codependent when we're sort of embracing or embodying the shadow aspect of Libra. And it really causes you to lose yourself like in another person. And you really just get very detached from your own, innate strength and power and courage. So it's very interesting actually that this full moon has this Aries Libra axis, and how these two very opposing energies are here right now, bringing up so much awareness for us. So I think it's actually really wonderful. Now, if you are somebody that is feeling very indecisive, or you're just kind of feeling like you're in battle with yourself at this time, then this is a very, very good time to spend some time in meditation. learning to trust yourself without outside influence. So like maybe shutting off social media and kind of shutting out other people's opinions at this time, just to give yourself a little bit of space and silence to really tune into yourself and lean into your own intuition and guidance. So ask yourself some questions, and notice the first answer that appears, right? Like the questions that I've listed earlier, you can ask yourself those questions and really just tune in to whatever answers come to the surface immediately within you, and take that for what it is. Like, try not to judge it, do not overanalyze it. Just really allow it to come from your intuition and then take action on that. So, it's like complete the cycle, because taking action is usually completing a cycle. So give yourself the grace to make mistakes on your path. We all make mistakes. It's okay, right? This is more just about tuning in and fine tuning actually your intuition, because this allowance is going to really encourage you to just pick a road, pick a direction that really resonates with you, and then walk it. Right? Because ultimately that's what we all have to do, is just come up with our own conclusions. What works for me? What's my mission? What's my purpose? What do I feel called to do? And then start taking action towards walking that road. So choose the path that really truly makes you feel content and fulfilled. Okay? It's whatever your soul is calling you to do. Fight for that. Fight for what you love. And make peace with your soul's journey. It's so important to really allow yourself to just walk your path imperfectly, making mistakes, and really just doing the best that you can, and allowing yourself to see where you can actually guide yourself. There is never right and wrong turns, okay? There's only just a journey that we all walk. And as you are walking your journey, remind yourself that, if you made a right and that direction wasn't the best for you, then now you can just make another choice to make a left. Right? So we can always correct. Yes, it might take time. Yes, it might be a headache or a pain in the ass, but it's something that you're going to be willing to do, right? Because as soon as you know that a path is not for you, you're going to want to change it. You're going to want to take a different path and make a different choice. So this is the full moon message for this Aries Libra axis. The energies that are present right now are pretty powerful. This is the last supermoon of the year, where we're going to have the moon very, very close. And it was beautiful last night and very bright. So definitely get out there if you can and take a look at the moon and just sort of sit under its light and bask in its light, and allow this Aries energy to really fill you with the courage, the strength, the empowerment, and the love for yourself that you need at this time to really push you forward on your mission, to do what you're absolutely here to do, and to embrace your own mission wholeheartedly, with your heart and soul and mind, and then take action to get it going and to get it started. I always say that you miss 100% of the shots that you never take. So I will leave you with that as my closing statement. Thank you so much for listening, for tuning in, and I wish you all a beautiful, happy, prosperous full moon in Aries. Thanks for watching. Take care.